How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the ZoomEd YouTube channel. Today I'm with Chris and Casey Leone of Garden State Tortoise, a couple-ran turtle and tortoise sanctuary that operates as a breeding facility, a safe haven, and a pillar of education for a number of different chelonian species. Thank you so much for joining me. Really excited to do this build with y'all.
Thanks for having us.
So what do we have planned for our build today?
We're gonna do a build for the Vietnamese Black-breasted Leaf Turtle, Geoimida spengleri.
Tell me a little bit about kind of what the goals for this build are. What are we looking to do with it?
Anytime we build something, we try to think of, get on the animal's level, see it from the animal's perspective. What would you want to see? What would you want to have at your disposal if you were the animal? So it's all about obviously making it bioactive, plenty of places to hide. You want the animal to feel stressed, not to feel stressed, to keep those stress levels down. This way the animal can have refuge and look, have plenty of places to hide and be able to exhibit normal behaviors.
We like to use asymmetry and recreate nature and make things a little bit more askew, a little more off kilter so that it seems more natural to the animal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess we could start with the substrate. So why did you guys kind of choose to do a build for the Vietnamese Black-breasted Leaf Turtle?
There's few turtle species that are suitable for a terrarium like this because most turtles, they get too big. But Vietnamese Black-breasted Leaf Turtles are fully grown at only 4 to 4.5 inches. So this is a nice habitat for, like a single adult. And obviously a hatchling or a juvenile would have more than enough room in here to grow. And because they're small, we could do a lot. We don't have to worry about them messing things up because you guys know, you put something like up for a sulcata tortoise and they destroy it in 2 minutes, So that's what's nice about the leaf turtles is that they're cryptic, they're small. You can create all these really awesome nooks and crannies. And I like the bio blend because it enables us to make like a more humid environment for them. This stuff is great with the moss and there's like repti bark mixed in with it and stuff too,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, this stuff is really, really great. Why don't we add a little bit more? Because one of the things we want to do for them is we want to make sure that the animal's going to have plant life in here. You know what? Why don't we mix some of the reptisoil in? Anytime you can do a substrate that has a lot of components to it, you're already winning, because, they're not just occurring on one thing in nature. There's a whole lot of, bioactivity and elements to the substrates they naturally occur on.
So how did you guys kind of find your love of turtles and how did you know, when you found them, this is kind of where you wanted to be in the reptile community and the reptile hobby?
I started at 5 with turtles. My dad found a box turtle and that just kind of set the stage, moving forward. And my whole life, it was mainly turtles and tortoises, but then, the reptiles too, snakes, lizards, and then amphibians. And Casey comes from a little bit more of a, like farm animals.
Animals, horses, farming, and I was a keeper for a while, and I just love all creatures, all walks of life.
So when we met, I expressed to her my love for turtles, in addition to my love for her. Fast forward, we decided to start Garden State Tortoise as an official entity. We started off just a breeding facility that turned into a rescue, and then we started pushing social media, and what's happened in just the last couple years alone is insane. It's a community that I could not imagine not being a part of. Companies like ZoomEd make so much possible now. People need to know what is at their disposal. Oh, yeah. Is that gonna fit?
No, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Okay. What kind of scale are you guys running at now that you guys are more established at where you're at?
Level crazy.
Level crazy?
Yeah. It's just us, first of all. We don't have help really, except for when we're away. We have a good network of people that help us manage the animals and the property while we're gone. I mean, we're still operating as a breeding facility, but we're rescue now too, conservation hub. We try to film as much of our lives as we possibly can to share it with everybody because we're not open to the public. We're private, we keep it private. We want to give our kids a little bit of normalcy because this is not normal, That looks great.
On the topic of conservation, I know you're really involved with Terrapin conservation.
We have a project where we protect the diamondback terrapin. We pit tag females for identification purposes, and then we excavate all the nests that we find, incubate the hatchlings, and release them back to the marsh every year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
I'm way better at that than you are. Here you go. I'm an expert.
I could talk. Yeah, we have an interesting take and ability to decorate these enclosures, mainly because of her background too. Working in horticulture and landscaping.
So that's why all the enclosures look as good as they do.
We're going at it, together on there. But I think a lot of people, they lose sight that these are wild animals at heart. They try to make things too simple or too domestic looking, for lack of a better way to say it.
Too groomed.
Yeah, definitely too groomed.
Yeah, nature is never neat.
No, that's great already. So objective of this is to start creating nooks and crannies that the animal that will be able to go into. And already you can see right here, this is going to be a good spot, and we'll probably dress it up with, I don't know, maybe some moss or something. But Vietnamese black-breasted leaf turtles, they live in darker environments. So they don't like too bright of light. They still require it. They need the day-night cycle, but they're walking around almost in like complete darkness at times. There's certain areas throughout their geographical range. Oh, it's gonna get good. It's gonna get good. I've always had a really deep passion for European species and New Jersey native species. So the diamondback terrapins, the box turtles, wood turtles, all that stuff has a very special place in our hearts. And we do a lot of work with them. And I think a lot of people are kind of unaware of what lives in their area. And a lot of times that we do educational outreach and presentations, we're always trying to show people, like, you need to know what this is. Know what you're looking at when you see it, because you'll have people that'll rescue a painted turtle crossing the road and then they don't put it in the water because they don't know that it's an aquatic turtle. They think just because it's on land, it belongs on land, you know, and then vice versa.
Are there any good alternatives people should look at if they're considering a leaf turtle?
I mean, they're essentially like a wood turtle or a box turtle in their habits. They're semi-terrestrial, you know, shallow water for drinking and soaking, but they're just a lot easier to house in something like this because of their size. You know, a box turtle is going to grow to be 6 inches plus.
Yeah, you need to give that
same thing
space.
with a wood turtle, and even bigger. But, you know, these would be great for juveniles or hatchlings. And if you breed box turtles and wood turtles, it's always good to have like these ready. For the younger ones.
Speaking of box turtles, I can't go an entire interview without mentioning Otis once, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you guys give me the history of Otis and how he kind of came into your lives?
So we do, again, rescue.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of rescue with the Popcorn Park Animal Refuge in South Jersey. And box turtles are commonplace because they're native to New Jersey. So a lot of them get displaced, end up there. They can't be released, so they need to find homes for them. So we're used to taking box turtles from them, but when they got Otis, they said, we have another box turtle for you. I said, okay, well, that's not a problem. And they said, no, this one's different. And one of the first things that John, the owner of the zoo, said to me, he goes, well, he hates other turtles. I was like, what do you mean? He's like he can't, like, he hates other turtles, you know? And the rest is history, really. Still to this day, we don't know why he acts the way he does. But he's remarkable, and he made the drive all the way down here with us, 16 hours, and he was Otis the entire time in the car.
Otis does everything with passion.
He really, really does.
Would you say Otis kind of made Eastern box turtles, you know, some of your top favorite box turtle species?
They always were, because that was, when I was 5, that was the first turtle I ever laid eyes on, was a box turtle that was in my parents' backyard. So I always had, you know, nostalgia with them. I've always had some box turtles in our lives, and we have a lot of them now through surrenders and confiscations and things like that. But Otis, you know, has his own thing going on.
Guess we can close this up. And before I let you guys go, I have a round of rapid fire questions for you guys.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Okay.
What, in your opinion, is the best beginner turtle or tortoise species?
A Herman's tortoise.
They're hardy, right? They can handle hot and cold.
Yep.
And they have minimal requirements as far as like an Egyptian tortoise would need with humidity.
They can experience all 4 seasons, and they're also a manageable size. I think that's the kind of stuff that people need to research when they're looking into them, as, you know, to keep them.
If you could see any species of Chilean in the wild, what would it be?
Well, I got to see the Western Hermans in the wild this spring in France and film it. You know, she filmed the whole thing. So that was a lifelong dream that did come true. You know, at risk of sounding cliche, I would love to see Galapagos tortoises in the wild.
Also, one of the things that Chris and I have never worked with, we've never worked with sea turtles. So I would be interested to see them in the wild.
What are your children's favorite tortoise or turtle that's on the property?
Cece, our 7-year-old, it's a Western Hermans named Yellow Jacket. That's her favorite. And I feel like Ella changes her mind every day.
Yeah.
It might be Otis.
I was going to say Otis for sure.
Finally, what is one turtle or tortoise misconception that would be your dream if everybody kind of fixed in their minds?
Box turtles are not tortoises.
I think I'd add that all turtles and tortoises require water and humidity. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. This is an awesome build. Before we let you guys go, is there anything else you want to tell the people about Garden State Tortoise?
You can find us anywhere on social media. Just search Garden State Tortoise. Can't miss us. We're just your friendly neighborhood turtle people.